It's been 277 days since I've last had sleep, and I feel amazing. See, I was born with a special mutation that allows me to skip sleep without consequences. In fact, most nights I couldn't sleep if I wanted to. I do not get tired and work for hours on end. Do you know how much things you can get done when you don't have the need to sleep? Now, there are periods where I will crash for weeks at a time, but I'm prepared for when they come and have an establishment and a place where I won't be disturbed at all. Do you know how much a fellow can get done when his energy is not limited to 24 hours? I've been working on this new project where I can eliminate the need to eat as well, and it's not going so well. Oh, looks like I got a text.
No, dude, we gotta talk. I'm seriously worried that you're actually not eating.
What, dude? When's the last time we ate?
I can't.
You know I'm doing an experiment.
Look, man, you already don't have to sleep like the rest of us. Why are you wasting your time on such silly stuff? You have to eat, dude. You have to eat, dude.
Why do I gotta eat? You people already waste so much time sleeping. And why can't you see that?
Whoa, dude, calm down. I'm just worried about you. Seriously, you need to... You need to...
Succulent or non-succulent nutritious substances that people or animals drink or that plants absorb in order to maintain life and growth. That is eating, my friends. A long time ago, on this exact planet, the concept of food had hardly ever barely evolved, and it was more of just chemicals and minerals just messing about, not really trying to kill each other yet. You see, life is good at evolving and at taking the path of least resistance. And I believe this is the reason eating other life forms to survive came into existence in the first freaking place. It's all a result of living things forgetting where they came from. Nothing more, nothing less. Honestly though, you can pinpoint anything wherever you like. That's the beauty of life, isn't it? So ever since life went multicellular, there was no turning back, and thus life began to explode into the many different life forms we see today. And thus many different life forms eating each other. And let's get into that. The various ways nature has concocted food consumption is quite the spectacle. Perhaps the understanding of food chains, or more precisely food webs, is a good way to categorize in the ways animals eat each other, but it doesn't really go into full detail about the way they go about doing it. Like how certain animals can go without eating for long periods of times, or how some animals can consume unbelievable amounts of food in short periods of times with mass numbers. It doesn't go into details like how the crocodile's bite is the strongest and why it came about having that, and its bite is even stronger than the blue whale's bite, which is 200 times bigger than a croc, like way bigger, but it needed to adapt to certain different ways. It's more detailed than that. Or why it developed such strong jaws in the first place. Speaking of the blue whale, it is known to eat about 8,000 pounds of krill each day. That must mean there's an intense amount of krill in the sea. Oh, what's that? Oh, krill are thought to have the largest populations of any species on Earth? Makes sense to me why the blue whale can exist in the first place anyways. It's a full cycle, back and forth, up and down, things eat each other, I don't know. So, food comes in various sizes, shapes, and forms, and not only that, the way we eat, how we eat, determines the way we evolve and adapt and exploit our environments. And I don't know, I don't really have much more to say about this. I'm kind of hungry. I'm gonna go get some food right now.
I think I figured it out. The past few months have been nothing but non-stop failure, but I think I just made a breakthrough. In today's vlog, I'm about to disclose some information that is about to change the course of humanity as we know it. Let's begin. I know it's been a long time since I posted a video. Must continue my work. You see, I've made so much progress. Check out specimen 1, otherwise known as Loki. He's 14 weeks old and has not eaten anything, and look at him. He's healthy as an ox. Come on, Loki. This is specimen 2, otherwise known as Marcia. She has been given the conversion treatment, and she hasn't eaten in 5 weeks, and look at her. You see, I figured out a way to alter genes to grow entirely new digestive organs designed to digest molecules from the air and turn it into atomic power. And that is determined by the vertical distribution of the phyllae, and if you take into account of the trillions and trillions of... Alright, so that concludes this video. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to do what you will with this invaluable information. It's about time for me to go to sleep, and as I've told you in previous videos about my condition, I am going to be asleep for a few weeks, so do not try to bother me. We have very important work to do when I awaken.
This is unlike anything that's ever been seen in human history before. People are coming out in droves.
Doctors, psychologists, and poison control experts are warning kids and parents of the dangers of, yes, eating.
This is where they start, folks! Next thing you know, we got a bunch of cucks running the nation, and nobody's allowed to eat anything! Not even a gay frog leg!
Poop is no laughing matter. As a matter of fact, it's fecal matter, which is the remains of what has been eaten and evacuated by the bowels of animals. Okay? Insects poop is called frass. You wanna know what baby termites and baby elephants have in common? They both eat poop from adults in order to maintain the proper gut microbes to digest plant matter. That's right. Both of them have to be able to eat a bunch of leaves and a bunch of freaking bark to live. And they have to get those microbes from their mother, so they eat the poop to do it. Because that's where the microbes are. Would you believe me if I told you that some plants even eat poop? There is a poop-eating pitcher plant that has evolved to host bats, and in return, the bats deposit rich nutrient-filled bat poop, otherwise known as guano. This is probably the most fascinating symbiosis I've ever seen. Fossilized poop, otherwise known as coprolite, is important in determining the predation and diets of ancient extinct species. There is a species of mite that has no anus and doesn't poop. This mite stores its waste in the cells of its intestines until it dies. And guess where these mites live? On your face! That's right. There is a species called Demodex, which is a mite that lives in your face. On another note, vultures poop on their legs to keep cool because, you know, that's the chill thing to do. Certain spiders will disguise themselves or make webs to look like bird poop in a way that is thought to be a certain kind of camouflage from predators. Like wasps. It's a waspy spider world, you know. Those white sand beaches on Hawaii, you know, the beautiful white sandy beaches, yeah, that's all poop from a parrotfish. Pretty much. Well, a large parrotfish, just one single large parrotfish, can produce 800 pounds of this sand every year, this white sandy Hawaiian poop. There's also many more avenues of poop I could explore, but I think I'm going to end it here because I ate some tacos earlier and they're fighting me to come back into this world. I'll see you guys later.
No, you're in there, Hadley. Come on now, get out.
Yeah, who do you think you are?
I'm not gonna let you play God.
Andrew, I told you you needed to eat. Now look at you.
Screw you, man. Soon you'll see. Turn. Since the dawn of man, we've been constantly improving ourselves with new technologies that we invent. We've been able to overcome natural selection and accelerate the process and use it to our own evolutionary advantage. We've given ourselves the ability to fly in 10 times the amount of time it took for birds to develop it. Extinction isn't a bad thing and results in the birth of something newer and better. Either we adapt or we die. Either we become something better or something else will. Now. This doesn't mean the death of humanity. It means the birth of humanity's descent or the death of it completely. Do you want that? No. And it's up for us to decide. This is the next greatest achievement as a member of this earth.
Well, that actually sounds like a pretty good idea.
Yeah, now I've actually listened to this guy. I think I may have changed my mind. Mommy, I don't want to eat no more.
Where do I sign up? Where do I sign up?
Sleep. It's something we need to do. But have you ever stopped and thought about why? Is there better ways it could have adapted in other animal species, or are there better adaptations that are yet to evolve? As it turns out, there are some really cool ways different animals have adapted to this need for sleep. And I also have some interesting ideas on the way sleep could evolve, and ways life might adapt to it in the future. And I'll be discussing that right now. Some animals sleep nearly the entire 24 hours in a day, leaving only just a few hours of activity per day. And some are on the opposite end of that spectrum and sleep just a couple hours a day. Some animals will go weeks without sleep, and some go weeks in a sleep-like state. Although it is not actual sleep and they still need to sleep on top of it, this is called hibernation, of course. Some animals have adapted to put half of their brain in a slow-wave sleep state while maintaining awakeness in the other half of the brain. This is called unihemispheric sleep. There are also different kinds of sleep and types of sleep that are thought to perform different functions. There's a certain kind of sleep called REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, that happens in phases throughout the night and is believed to be the periods of sleep in which we are dreaming. It appears that fish, insects, and reptiles don't go through these REM sleep phases when they sleep, and REM sleep seems to be something that was adapted with warm-blooded animals. Much of what we know about sleep is still all really new, and there's still so many questions to be asked. I like to imagine nature will figure out a way to transcend sleep, or at least develop new ways that it can heal itself and get rest while simultaneously being awake, which animals that experience unihemispheric sleep kind of have already done that. Maybe there's some things about sleepwalking that could lead to the discovery of more efficient ways to deal with this need for sleep. What if we could figure out how to sleep like a giraffe does, only needing 2 to 4 hours of sleep each day and doing it in multiple intervals of 5 to 15 minutes at a time? As much as I'd like to see these adaptations, I will most likely not in my lifetime. And if there's one thing I've learned in most of my research on sleep is how important it is and how vital it is to live. And if that you want to be healthy and productive, then making sure you're getting high quality sleep each night should be a top priority. And with that, that's all I got on sleep. Bye. It's been almost a full decade since man decided to transcend, and I gotta say, things have never been better. That is right, reporter number 1. Well, not so great for the fast food chains across this great nation. As it turns out, the last standing restaurant is being turned into a museum. Well, I can't wait to take my family there and remind them just how primitive we were just 10 years ago. Such a dreadful way to live. I don't know how I ever did it. Speaking of which, thousands of foodins have gathered in southern Texas to protect a bunch of helpless cattle that they plan to slaughter anyways. And what's even more absurd is that they're planning to continue to grow crops. These people want to destroy the only planet we have, and they must be stopped.
Who's gotta eat now?